Hi everyone, it's Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters, and thank you for joining me for a Kitaholic Kits design team layout. So I saw this gorgeous layout created by a lovely lady called Arlene, and she made this super beautiful layout using some tie-dyed pattern paper and a whole bunch of stamps. And I really wanted to try and replicate that in my own way on my own layout. So I used the beautiful rainbow colored paper because that matched really well with my photos, which you can kind of see off to the left hand side there. And I've got my all-in-one tool from the We Are Memory Keepers, and it comes with a stamping board, so that's what I'm using to help place my stamps perfectly. And it also means that I can stamp twice without anything moving. There's some little magnets there that hold my paper in place, and then there's the stamping platform. And I've never used the stamping platform really on a project before, and I loved it. It made stamping really easy. So yeah, I was really impressed with how this worked for me. Now, this is not a plug or a sale for you to have to go and get one of those. I was just letting you know the equipment that I was using. So you just had a really quick flash of my finished product. I didn't use a huge amount of stamps, just a few, because I also want to use some of the Lucky Us Puffy Heart and Kiss Hug stickers on the background as well. Bonus points if you can see the accidental stamp that's on the yellow section on the left hand side of the page, just underneath Lucky Us. I am attempting to see if I can cover that with ephemera, because as we know, no mistakes can't be covered up. There can never be too many ephemera. So let's see if I can hide that away from all of you at the end of this layout. So I'm placing where I want my photos to be. There are a lot of photos on this layout because I couldn't choose just one. My boy was just too gorgeous and I needed them all. And now I'm going to fill in a few more of that missing space, but blank space. The spaces in between the stamps. I'm going to fill those in with a little bit of those Kiss Hug Puffy stickers and some of the hearts as well. That was always my intention. That's why it's not too overfilled in stamps. If you got to see Arlene's gorgeous layout, she certainly used a lot more stamps than I did, and I think her layout was better in the stamping concept of it, the background of it. Mine is obviously quite different. It's not, it was definitely inspired by her, but it turned out obviously like my own, as we tend to do when we get inspired, when we see other people's layouts. They then take our own form. So now I'm going to work on my ephemera. I'd kind of chosen the basic ephemera that I wanted to use. I dug through the ephemera collection and picked out the things that kind of matched the layout and the mood and feel of this layout, and the colours in the layout. So I've got things like ha 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 and so much fun and love you to pieces, because it just really went with the photos themselves and what Thomas is doing in these photos. So the only thing that I probably would like to redo would be to have actually a smaller photo so that you see more of the gorgeous background. But I really love the way this layout ended up. I think the colours are just perfect for such a crazy ball pit photo, and in general, I really do love the way it's ended up. So thank you to Arlene for sharing such a gorgeous layout, because it really inspired me to get inky with our stamps. I did decide last minute that I wanted to put some colour shine in that sort of T area where my stamps are. So I do have to be careful working with this page now because that's a little bit wet, but it does dry relatively quickly, so I'm not too worried. But I've already got one big inky accident. I didn't want to add any more. So now I'm going to get to town placing my ephemera. So some things need to be popped up on foam because I've popped my photo up on foam, but other things I will stick straight down with double-sided tape. So the ha 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 piece is like one of my favorites on this page, because his face, he just thinks he's the bee's knees in this ball pit. So I'm kind of happy with that. I really wanted my title to sort of overlap on the photos a little bit, but I couldn't be bothered cutting out little tiny bits of foam to help hold it up. So I put the photo of the happy not touching any of the photo at all and stuck flat down completely on the page. In the end, when I completely finished the layout, I decided I don't like how far away it is from the photographs. And you'll see in the close-up photos at the end that I've actually moved it. So do bear in mind when you're watching this. I just feel like the happy is like hanging out on its own up there, and it doesn't quite work. It doesn't hold the layout together. So working on my ephemera cluster and my title. So the same, interrupting myself, the same with the word moments. I popped that moments far enough down so that the T is not sitting up on top of the photo. But again, when I look at the whole pictures at the end, the happy moments just looks really separate, really displaced. They don't look like they belong together as a title. And so therefore I end up moving it. And you will see that in the close-up photos at the end. So working on my cluster over to the left-hand side of the photo, am I going to manage to cover up that big inky splatter? Of course I am. No one ever doubted me, I'm sure. And it all works perfectly, and you would never know. And you would think that everything about this was created in this way on purpose. So that, thank goodness for that. So I am just about finished with my layout, but then I'm going to move on to my close-up photos, where you will, again, as I said before, you will see that I've made a few changes. When I was holding the layout up vertically, then I knew something was missing. I knew the layout just didn't look finished. It looked incomplete, and so that's when I decided it needed a doodle border. Now, those of you that know me well, which I know is not that many, will know that I'm quite against doodle borders when I do them. I just can never seem to get them right, and I'm a little bit scared of them, I'm going to be honest. But this particular layout just was not working. It was not finished, and it needed something else. So I just bit the bullet and crossed my fingers and went for it. And actually, it worked, and I'm really excited with how it turned out. And you can see already that it's really helping to lift the page. It really did need that black edging all the way around it. I absolutely could have used made a border, matted the whole layout, but I actually have 0 black cardstock left, so this was my only option. So here is my finished page. You can see there that I have moved the word happy. It is popped down on top of the photos. I didn't move the word moments. I just put happy above it, and that works much better. So I'm glad that I did that at the end. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this layout. I hope you like all the little extras that you can see as part of this layout, and thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.